Well, for over 20 years, the Uganda Network on Law, Ethics and HIV and AIDS have been advocating for the development and strengthening of an appropriate policy, legal, human rights and ethical response to health and HIV and AIDS in Uganda. Its current strategic goal is to reduce HIV and gender-based vulnerability through increased legal and social protection. And to speak to us about their work and the national dialogue on HIV and AIDS, we have Grace Naiga, the head of the programs at the Uganet. Welcome to NTV at 1.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you. Now, let's start with the first question. Tell us about this national dialogue on HIV and AIDS.
Thank you so much. So, Uganet, like you have said, has been in this fight against HIV, but we are human rights advocates that advocate for PLHIV rights.
Oh.
So, being that today is International Human Rights Day, we decided that this was the best day for us to bring together stakeholders in the fight against HIV and AIDS. And in doing so, we have convened a national dialogue. Okay. A high-level national dialogue, bringing together the different actors in the justice system, different actors in the legislature. We have MPs in the room, different actors in the health system. This dialogue has been convened in conjunction with the Uganda AIDS Commission. We cannot leave them behind, together with the Ministry for Presidency. And in doing so, we are trying to advocate for human rights for PLHIVs. And we know very well from where we stand as Uganet that unless we embrace issues of human rights for persons living with HIV, we cannot end HIV by 2030 as the goal is.
I agree. So what are some of the key things we have achieved in the fight against HIV and AIDS in terms of gender-based vulnerability?
There are not so many. Where we stand as Uganet, we still see so many challenges, especially in regards to vulnerability of women. Because when we talk about gender-based violence, the most affected gender is usually the females. And this is the discussion that we are bringing on table today. And we are saying that, hey, look here, duty bearers, if we do not look into the human rights issues, then we are missing the point. Take, for example, when you talk about compulsory testing for women when they go for antenatal care, those kinds of issues, and then also them accessing medicines at clinics. Is it safe? The standards in the health facilities, do they meet the standards required under the patient's charter? So we are looking at all those and bringing them on table and asking the duty bearers to act. But also where we stand as Uganet, that we are seeing so many punitive laws. For example, the HIV Prevention and Control Act, the one that was passed in 2014. And then also the Penal Code Act as it stands right now. What we are seeing as Uganet is that most women are affected by the laws even more than men. The cases we have been handling at Uganet, mostly it is the women that have found themselves against the law and being unfairly charged, even prosecuted in courts of law, like some of the stories that we have shared, as a result of the laws that we have in place. So the achievement is not so big in terms of gender. We see that women are still most affected.
Okay. So how do we stop the stigma while you're wrapping it up?
Yes. So ending stigma is everyone's role. Where we stand as Uganet, we have come to believe that unless we all as a nation embrace the fight against HIV, it is not only for PLHIVs. The positives and the negatives, it is everyone's fight. So when we embrace stigma as a country, we are going to reduce we are going to increase disclosure. People will come out freely to test, and you know, when people test, they will get enrolled on treatment. When people are on treatment, they suppress their viral load. There we have zero infection. But where we stand currently, with the number of infections that we have, 1,000 per week in this country, Uganda, if we do not fight stigma and discrimination, we are not doing much to end
Well, thank you so much, Madam Naiga. Now, you and I can be a part of this conversation. It's quite very simple. Just follow Uganet on the different platforms and get to know how best you can be a part of this conversation.